I've always believed that art is a universal language. It transcends barriers, speaks to the heart, and connects us in ways we often don't understand. But here's a twist. What if I told you that my dog, yes, my four-legged furball, has become a painter? I know it sounds absurd, but stick with me. It's a wild ride that's both hilarious and surprisingly touching. So, let me set the scene for you. I adopted Max, a golden retriever, a couple of years ago. He's got this goofy personality that just lights up a room. I mean, he's the kind of dog that greets you at the door, like you've been gone for a year, even if you just stepped out to grab the mail. But one day, while I was cleaning up my art supplies, I had this brilliant idea. Why not let him explore his creative side? I thought it would be a fun little experiment, a way to bond. So, I grabbed some non-toxic paints and a large canvas, and I set it all up in the backyard. At first, I was a little nervous. I mean, what if he ate the paint? Or worse, what if he decided to roll in it? But I figured, what's the worst that could happen? So, there I was, armed with my camera, ready to document this momentous occasion. I squeezed some paint onto the canvas and let Max sniff around. He was intrigued, tail wagging, tongue lolling out of his mouth. I placed a few drops of paint on the canvas, and to my utter disbelief, he started to paw at it. I couldn't help but laugh. It was like he was trying to figure out what this strange, colorful thing was. And then it happened. With a few more enthusiastic paw swipes, he created what I can only describe as a chaotic masterpiece. It was a swirl of colors, blues, yellows, reds, and greens, each stroke a reflection of his exuberant spirit. I was amazed. I mean, I've seen abstract art in galleries that looked less intentional than what my dog had just produced. I couldn't believe my eyes. My dog was a painter. So, I decided to take this a step further. I set up a little art station in my living room, complete with a canvas, brushes, and paints. Every weekend, we'd have our art sessions. I'd put on some music, and we'd get to work. I'd guide him a little, but honestly, the magic happened when I just let him do his thing. He would leap onto the canvas, wagging his tail and creating these vibrant splashes of color. It was like watching a toddler with finger paints, completely uninhibited and free. As the weeks went by, I started to notice something incredible. People began to take notice of Max's artwork. Friends would come over, and I'd proudly display his latest creations. They were blown away. I mean, who wouldn't be? A dog painter? It's not something you see every day. They started asking if I could sell his art, and that's when the idea really took off. I created an Instagram account for Max, the canine artist. I started posting pictures of his artwork, and to my surprise, people loved it. They were commenting, sharing, and even asking for commissions. I never imagined that my dog's abstract art would resonate with so many people. It was like he had tapped into something primal, something that spoke to the human experience. But it wasn't just about the art itself. It became a way for me to connect with others. I started sharing stories about our art sessions, and people would respond with their own experiences with pets and creativity. It was a beautiful reminder of how art can bring us together. I began to receive messages from pet owners who had tried similar projects with their animals. Some sent pictures of their dogs, cats, even rabbits, creating their own masterpieces. It was a community of creativity, and it all started with a golden retriever and a canvas. Now, let's talk about the deeper side of this whole experience. There's something profoundly therapeutic about creating art, whether you're a human or a dog. For Max, it was a way to express himself. I could see the joy in his eyes as he painted. It was like he was channeling his energy into something tangible. And for me, it was a reminder to let go of perfectionism. Watching Max paint taught me to embrace the messiness of creativity. It's not always about the final product. It's about the process, the joy, and the connection. Eventually, we decided to host a little art show in our local community center. I printed Max's artwork on canvas, and we set up a gallery-like space. People came, and it was incredible to see the joy on their faces as they admired his work. We even had a little corner where kids could create their own art alongside Max's pieces. It was heartwarming to see families bonding over creativity, inspired by a dog who just wanted to have fun. And guess what? We ended up raising money for a local animal shelter. It felt amazing to give back to the community, and all because of a silly idea that started in my backyard. Max became somewhat of a local celebrity, and I couldn't have been prouder. So, if you ever find yourself feeling stuck or uninspired, I encourage you to think outside the box. Embrace the unexpected. You never know where a little creativity can lead you. And who knows, your dog might just be the next Picasso. So grab some paints, unleash your furry friend, and let the magic happen. After all, art knows no bounds, especially when it comes to a dog with a paintbrush.